Much.
Really, thank you so much for coming over in the
Absolutely.
great Friday traffic. And I think we warned you that we just push you in and say, play us a song. So.
You did. I heard that just a few seconds ago.
We warned you 3 seconds before, right?
That's right. Well, let's just kick it off then. You are magnificent, baby, like a sculpture I can't touch. I bet you cost $1 million. Man, I need me some of that. Pull it out of your magic hat. I think you're only talking smack. You make me, you make me forget where I'm at. My goodness, should this be the way I feel? Not knowing fake from real. My goodness, should this really be the cost? Not knowing true from false. But you're the right kind of trouble for all the hell you put me through. Just to spend some time with you. Your voice is ringing in my ear like an angel's desperate cry. You let me know it's do or die. One chance, one fleeting moment, that's all I'm ever gonna get. Best believe you'll make it all worthwhile. You make me, you make me, you make me remember my smile. My goodness, should this be the way I feel? Not knowing fake from real. My goodness, should this really be the cost? Not knowing true from false. But you're the right kind of trouble for all the hell you put me through. Just to spend some time with you. Yeah, you're the right kind of trouble. Yeah, you're the right kind of trouble. Yeah, you're the right kind of trouble. Yeah, you're the right kind of trouble.
Everybody likes the right kind of trouble.
Thank you.
Buddy Ange Medlin here, kicking us off with really good song. Ange, always like to hear a little bit about our guest's musical history. And so back growing up, where you came from a musical household, or where did this come from?
Well, that's a great question, because the answer to that is no. It's like, honestly, no one in my family really performed or played an instrument or anything of that nature. But I think, remember music with my mom and dad. And my dad was the rockabilly, country, Buck Owens, kind of sound. And You know, my mom, though, was all girl groups.
Yeah,
And
really.
every Saturday it was, you know, the Supremes and Martha Reeves and the Vandellas, and, you know, just music filled the house. And that was like, you know, that was the best feeling.
Right. So even though nobody was playing instruments, that music was still important in your house.
It was, yeah. It was a big part of our childhood.
Was guitar your first instrument?
Actually, no. My first instrument was clarinet. Yeah, 6th grade.
We hear that a lot, that these, and, you know, that's, I think we need to remember the value of these arts-based and music-based programs in schools now that funding is tight and they're under fire, or some places down south
Yep.
near the Everglades, everything's under fire. But
This
so
piano is woke.
we've had
Yeah.
many songwriters come in who played, you know, trumpet or clarinet or something in elementary school. And
Trombone.
Trumpet, yeah.
Awesome. Trombone, Bob.
Trombone. Yeah.
Oh, you still
was-
have a trombone? I'd like to buy one.
Somewhere in my dad's basement is my trombone. I was first chair in middle school, what we called junior high school back in the day.
Well, we're going to pursue Ange Medlin's musical history here a little bit more in a moment, but Ange, we're going to want to get as much music of yours, your songs in as we can. So whatever you'd like to play, we'd love to hear.
Okay, well, thank you. So I'm gonna play for you a song called Candle. Hot wax dripping on my toe with this candle that is burning its way to you. Carry on, like I told you, and you show me the truth. Too cold when I fell asleep beside myself and all alone, but now I can see you smile. I can see you smile. Heat is all you need. Love is all around you. Wrapped up in my arms is where you should stay. Yeah. Stay here all day. Dripping hit or miss, light sweet fingertips. Lord, this candle makes my path warm and bright. Burning through till every part of you is warm to my touch tonight. Too cold when I fell asleep beside myself and all alone, but now I can see you smile. I can see you smile. Heat is all you need. Love is all around you. Wrapped up in my arms is where you should stay. Yeah. Stay here all day. Relax and fall and hear the blankets calling. Wrapped up in my arms is where you should stay. Yeah. Stay here all day. Hot wax dripping on my toe from this candle that is burning its way to you. Carry on, like I told you. Yeah, to show me the truth, yeah, to show me, yeah, to show me the truth, show me, yeah.
Two awesome songs in a row. It's going to be a good night.
So, Ange, you weren't able to sing and play clarinet at the same time,
Well, that
but
would've
you,
been
Bet
trick,
she
yeah.
could.
you have a wonderful controlled yet powerful and right on tone singing voice. So were you in choirs back then, or where'd this come from?
No, I got kicked out of the choir. Actually, I was never in the choir.
Atta
Let me
girl.
take that back. So I tried out for the choir. I didn't make it. And then I started working with the church choir and did that for a number of years. And then they asked me to lead the youth choir. And that's the choir I got kicked out of. so yeah, that's. But
I
no,
call that a credential. Good for
Right.
you.
it's on the resume. I'm saying it qualifies. Yeah.
You really do. What Kirk said is so true.
Thank you.
You have such a well-controlled and spot-on tune
Thank you.
voice. And that's something that is hard to come by. You either, I really do think, and this is just anecdotally, I think you either come by that naturally. It can be trained, but I think it's got to be in there too.
Yeah, you have to have the ear to be able to
Yeah.
hear when you're in tune or flat or not. And it's clearly working for you. Did you have professional lessons along the way?
No.
It just, you knew it sounded right.
Yeah, I guess. Well, so I used to work at a radio station when I was a kid.
Aha.
And at night when we were off the air, it was, singing along with the music that was, I was playing in the control room.
Sure.
And that kind of started it out. And then from there it was karaoke bars and, just hanging out with friends and, just continued to progress until I thought, this is kind of fun. I want to do some more of this.
Did you play the game that I used to play as a teenager? I would find the harmonies intuitively,
Yeah.
where I would, be playing along with the top 40 or what have you. And that's how I discovered what harmony was, is I realized, oh, harmony is a step and a half or two above or below that note. Did you do that?
I guess I did kind of do some
Yeah.
of that. When I didn't think about it in that level.
Yep.
But yeah, when you're you're singing along with all these songs, and a long time ago when musicians and singers used to really sing before auto-tune and whatnot,
Yep.
you could really appreciate that talent. And there were so many bands in the 70s, 80s that were just really great at harmony. So yeah, it was a good time to be on the radio.
Sure was.
Everybody, we are here with the wonderfully talented Ange Medlin. Learn all about Ange and follow, I guess, what gigs are coming up and all the adventures that you're planning. Ange Medlin Music on Facebook. Easy to find.
Easy to find.
Easy.
And
Easy breezy.
I think we're done talking, and we would love to hear some more music.
Well, let's see what we got here.
This is so good.
So this song is called Underdog Stray. Speaking in riddles, lying in rise, building this ambiguity to hide behind. Safe from the bad and good at times, but it's alright with me. I never saw it coming, I never wanted to. Devil or an angel, I can't figure you. More to this girl, I know it's true, but it's more than I can see. Yeah. So I put down my glasses, raise up my hands, and I pray for understanding and a guiding hand. Listen to what my heart told my mind it should say. When all my money on this underdog stray. Listen to me, honey, let me tell you this. Nothing in this world is ever neat and crisp. Yeah, lining out the wrinkles with a fine mist, they can still leave a crease. You can't imagine what lies inside this tangled up mess of my childish pride. When everything bound comes untied, can you still handle me? Yeah, yeah. So I put down my glasses, raise up my hands, and I pray for understanding and a guiding hand. Listen to what my heart told my mind it should say. Bet all my money on this underdog stray. It's one more miracle, modern day mystery. One more chance to take a stab at me. So I put down my glasses, raise up my hands, and pray for understanding and a guiding hand. Listen to what my heart told my mind it should say. Bet all my money on this underdog, underdog. Bet all my money on this underdog, underdog. Bet all my money. Underdog stray.
Yay.
Thank you.
This has been such a great evening so far.
And so songwriting is, we're always interested in what possesses people to write songs. Were you, did that happen when you got a guitar and started to work with the guitar, or were you writing things before that and put that into your music later on?
Probably after I got the guitar, I started to really think about, trying to put some songs together. And, I'd written a few songs and just started to mess around with, putting them, in some sort of format. And then in 2009, I lost my job. And I worked for one of the large financial institutions.
It was about that time, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was about that time. And so, in the line of work that I was in, there was really nothing else going on at that point. And trying to find a job was really difficult. So, but, I go back to my parents. They always said, if you can do something with your hands, or if you can do something, make something, that you'll always be able to support yourself. And so my mom can sew and I mean, she's just amazing, can make anything. And my dad can work with his hands, and he's a carpenter and just can build anything. And I thought, well, I'm going to see if I can make something out of this music. So I spent the time and what little bit I had left of my severance and put a CD together, and that kicked it off.
All right.
So you're actually making some money doing music.
Well, at the time, that was the only money I was making. Yeah, so it actually worked out pretty well. It sort of forced me into, getting out and playing and booking shows,
Yeah.
and that was interesting and different. Yeah.
Well, I learned about you, and maybe Bob did too, because you played over at Doodad Farm.
Exactly.
And so we know when somebody gets an opportunity at Doodad, they really got something going. So
Yeah, I saw you were open for the Good Loves over at Doodad
Yes.
Farm, and I did what I try and make myself not do is almost as soon as you got off stage, you walked around and sat on a bench, and it was 1,000,000,000 degrees outside.
It was
You're
warm,
drenched in sweat, and I walked up and said, "Hey, you want to be on the radio?" And you looked at me like, "Who's this guy?" But I was enthralled with your music. It was you had a wonderful setup there, and I wonder, how did you get connected with the Doodad Circle?
Well, so also a great story. So, or a great question. When I moved to Greensboro in 2016, and so new to the area, I was mostly playing in Charlotte and around the Charlotte, Gastonia, Belmont area. And so when I moved up here, I didn't really know anybody, and I took some time to really get out and play. Took me a while to build up the nerve, I guess. So I actually went over to an open mic at one of the breweries, the local breweries,
Right.
and sat in there, and I met Brian Tooney.
Oh, yeah.
And so Brian, I came back out a couple of times, and Dean came down from Doodad, and so and said, we have this thing, and I thought, this guy's got a farm, and it sounded kind of strange at first, but I thought, why not,
Yeah, well, Dean's like that. He's a little strange at times.
Yeah, but he stayed in touch, which was great, and we exchanged messages back and forth for a while, and then he actually booked us to play the Good Loves show. It was kind of in the mid to late part of COVID, and
Right.
so we ended up having to reschedule.
Yep.
Yeah, so
Well, Greensboro and area is such a thriving music community.
Oh, yes.
A lot like around here. I mean, it's from about Raleigh to Winston-Salem.
Yep.
It's like just awesome.
It's an embarrassment of riches. There's just so much musical talent.
Everybody, we are here with Ange Medlin tonight, and our show is being broadcast live on WHUP-FM.org. And here locally, if you're on King Street, what's the call sign on FM, Bob?
FM 104.7
Yep.
in the footprint of Hillsboro.
Or we're simulcasting, if you will. I don't know the right
I
words. 'Cause it's, Bob, tell us about the video.
Yeah, you can catch the live stream, and the live stream is high def audio married with the broadcast high def video married with the broadcast high def audio. It's really a great looking, great sounding live stream, and you can find it at WHUP Pass the Hat, at WHUP Pass the Hat, on your favorite streaming services, and your favorite streaming services are YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Twitch keeps the streams for 2 weeks. YouTube and Facebook keep them forever. So you can be watching it live now, or you can come back and watch it every day for the next 12 years if you want to. And you can see all the old previous live streams we've had.
And that started, I guess, about 3 years ago, around COVID time.
Yeah, we got piles of them out there.
We were here 5 years before that. So if you want to dive back into history, all of the audio from our shows is archived at WHUPFM.org. Click shows, scroll down to Pass the Hat, and you will, I don't know, we about 1,000 shows maybe.
We are closing in on an 8-year anniversary, I think.
Yes, sir. But you don't need to do any of that junk because Ange is going to play a song for us right now.
that's right. Left for Charleston, headed for the bay. Nothing but the wind and me to find a way. Outrun this history, set my mind free. Nothing left for me here. She loved me even though I couldn't stay. I just couldn't be there with her anyway. She needed more than me. I needed to be free. Nothing left for me here. I'm out on the ocean, playing among the waves. Me and the ocean, carry me away. The sky turned angry and punished the seas. A boy in a southbound trying to make the keys. I lose myself in the wrong and try to remember fun, just a place I can be. I fell asleep to the waves that rocked me. I find solace in their flow. I could have loved her still, and that would break her will. That's too much, I know. I'm out on the ocean, playing among the waves. Me and the ocean carry me away, carry me away, carry me away. Thank you.
Pretty song.
I love Ange Medlin's music so much.
I have so many questions.
Well,
Are
you have 2 minutes
I
for the
know.
first question.
I know. Well, really the big one. And I ask this of most guests. Are you a writer first and then the music comes along? Or, and I mean generally, I know sometimes it happens different ways for people. Or do you hear it first and then you put words to it? Because I'm listening to someone who writes poetically, for sure.
So I write it first,
Okay.
almost always. I don't know that there's a time where it was the other way around.
That I
So
think I'm
mostly
hearing
always,
that.
Yeah. And it's, the words can come from anything. And a lot of times it's from watching or just, like the last song that I just played, Charleston, that was for, a situation that a friend of mine was in. And, I just really could feel that emotion.
Yeah.
And I wanted to pull that together in such a way that, it just wrapped it up, And so, but yeah, I think the words always seem to come first, and then
I think I can tell because I think there's nothing wrong with having throwaway lines or just something that's a good beat and lots of fun.
yeah.
But then we get people in the studio where there's not one throwaway word, there's no waste. Everything is essential to the core meaning of the song.
Yeah.
And I think that one of those people has walked in the studio tonight.
Well, that's good.
Yeah,
That's good
really,
stuff.
really powerful stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah. How does the music then meet the poetry that you're writing?
I have to sit with it for a while. Pull the words back out, and then I'll start to do the same thing with. I'm not a strong guitar player. I'm more of a rhythm player and always have been. But I will typically do that. Just find the chords that I like or the feeling that I want to match those words, and then try to pull the words in there and find that just that beat for the words to fall into. And so, that's I think that's sort of the recipe.
It worked so well in that last
does.
song. The first couple of lines of that song, and your very gentle playing of the guitar, and I blinked my eyes, and I was on a little floaty raft off of the beach on one of those waveless days, and I was just kind of drifting. And the way you played the guitar evoked that. So you have to have some kind of magic that you do to be able to evoke what the what the words are about. It really worked well in that song.
I think Bob has just thrown down a challenge to include the word floaty raft
He did, yeah.
in a new song.
In the next version of that song, a new verse will have floaty raft.
I think that would work.
There's a word for those things, and I cannot think of the word right now.
Skiff.
A skiff?
You'd be in a skiff, right? Or
Okay, I could be in a skiff. Yeah,
okay.
fair.
Probably
It is
rhyme
actually
more.
that time where we need to get on our top of the hour skiff.
Oh, how about
Everybody, it is, as Kim said, the time for us to say WHUP LP Hillsboro. We are past the hat, and we're so fortunate to have an hour 2 sponsor, Bob.
Yes, support for this second hour of Past Ahead is sweetly provided by Matthews Chocolates, 104 North Churton Street, Hillsboro, North Carolina, the finest in chocolate and chocolate accessories for all of your chocolate needs. And let's face it, we all have chocolate needs. Every guest on Past the Hat gets a gift of chocolate from Matthews, freshly made today. And Ange is
Smells so
modeling her
good.
wonderful box of chocolate that apparently smells really good.
It
And
does. It's wafting from this little hole.
yeah,
And we were fortunate to have some of Matthew's birthday cake.
that's right. Matthew made a little birthday cake. Well, he said it was going to be little, but I think that would feed
Oh, it was
27 people.
Enormous.
It is. So if you're listening, Matthew, or if you're in the Hillsboro community and listening, here's what Matthew did tonight. He made, for my birthday, a gluten-free, dairy-free birthday
wow.
cake.
Citrus-free.
Citrus-free.
Citrus-free, I know. Don't I sound
Wow.
fun, everyone? But
And it was good.
delicious, and it was safe. And so Matthew is here to meet all of your safety needs and make it taste really good. Thank you, Matthew.
He did tell me that the moisture you put in to kind of hold all the grainy stuff together to make the cake is essentially mayonnaise. You whip up eggs and a little bit of
Cream of tartar?
vinegar, and then he was getting ready to give it the proper zing that mayonnaise needs, squirt in the lemon juice.
Oh, go. Ah. Way to kill Kim.
So that was the other free that you didn't mention was citrus free, because you might not think that the cake needs to be citrus free because you think, of course, the cake's going to be citrus free.
Yeah.
But he caught himself in process and did not do that.
This
So he
is why I
just
love
sprayed it in
Hillsboro.
the air.
Yeah, just missed it.
That's right.
Ange Medlin, you had given us some insight right before our break about how a song comes together for you, and I was intrigued when you said and it sounded like you're not in a big rush. I mean, you have the words, you start to do some music, you sort of see how it organically comes together. And does this then happen all in one day, or can a song kind of percolate for a while?
Yeah, it depends on the song. Right Kind of Trouble came together in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, it was one of those.
That's nice.
It just came together, right? But some of the other songs, it took a while. Like Underdog Stray took a little bit. I think I probably wrote the lyrics in maybe 2007, 2006 maybe, and I didn't touch them for the longest time. So yeah, it depends on the song really, and but now it's every day you write something. That's the other trick, because even if it's only a line or two or a word, as a matter of fact, this morning we were talking about the full moon this week, and the fact that there's another one at the end of the month.
A blue moon,
The
I
blue
guess.
moon,
Yeah.
yeah, it's coming up on the 30th. And someone had taken a photograph from Wrightsville Beach that had the moon from Monday night. And it looked like, if you're familiar with Johnny Mercer's Pier, it looked like you could walk right off the end of Johnny Mercer's Pier and just step right onto the moon.
Grab the moon. Yeah.
Yeah, it was so huge.
Was that called the sturgeon? Sturgeon
It
moon.
was the sturgeon,
Yeah.
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 So I thought about that and what that might feel like to be at the end of that pier and just walk off right onto the moon. And so I wrote that down,
Neat.
and a couple other lyrics or lines or whatever that hopefully will one day be in a song. So
you were here earlier in the studio when Kirk Ridge played his song in our first section of the show, and this was a song that Kirk had on the shelf and pulled off. I think he said 2009,
Yeah,
Kirk,
that's what it said, yeah.
and brought it back out, and it was fantastic. Do you do that as well? Do you have a shelf where you store lyrics or maybe completed songs that you can just reach out and grab and put things together?
Lyrics primarily. Like, there are books and books of just words and lines and ideas, and I try to keep a journal that I just write stuff down in. And now with the iPhone, I can just put it down in my notes in the iPhone. So it's like I did that this morning. I try to do that the minute I think about it, because I've noticed as I've gotten a little older that I will forget it if I don't immediately write it down.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
And phones these days make it really easy to write it down without writing it down. You just talk to your phone.
Speak it right in there.
Exactly. You don't even have to type it out with your thumb. So.
It stays in the cloud even if your phone falls into the ocean as you're jumping onto the moon.
Absolutely.
Right.
Well, Ange, if you would be so kind as to share another piece of music.
Sure thing. Sure thing. Let's see here. This one is called Thinking About a Sunday. And it's sort of a duh moment for, the person who's experiencing this emotion. It's like, you know what? Now I get it. I'm thinking about a Sunday, coffee smell is in the air. I'm thinking about a Sunday, realizing you're not there. You let me go, you showed yourself the door. And I'm thinking about a Sunday and the breakfast that I'm cooking, thinking I should call you, realizing that I shouldn't. It's not worth the aggravation, my humiliation anymore. It's okay to be alone. It's alright to feel this way. What used to be our home can be our private sanctuary. There's no need for me to feel like I've lost my free will. But then I think about Sunday. Sunday, and the game is on TV. Wondering what you're doing, walking back and forth in front of me. I missed the play, I missed a lot that day. And I'm thinking about the Sunday, and I finally realized the reason we didn't survive is 'cause there was no compromising. And I guess it's too late to negotiate that now. It's okay to be alone. It's alright to feel this way. What used to be our home can be my private sanctuary. There's no need for me to fear like I've lost my free will. But and I think about a Sunday. I'm thinking about a Sunday. Thinking about a Sunday. Thinking about a Sunday. Thinking about a Sunday.
You see, I thought it was going to be about ice cream.
Not that kind of Sunday.
Different Sunday
Different
entirely.
Sunday, yeah.
But that was another one. Just the words to the song, the way you sang the song, and the guitar work all evoked a particular emotion that was just. It was just taking you right there. It's just a really well-crafted song,
Thank you.
even if it wasn't about ice cream.
It was not about ice cream, but that's. I guess it could be.
Well, yeah, if you think about it deep enough.
Yeah.
I'm wondering why it is just now that I at least have just heard of you and how you landed on our radar relatively recently. And I have to think it's because you just moved here or something, because I kind of hard to believe that you just were blending into the woodwork somewhere.
Yeah, because Ange Medlin is so
Yeah,
good.
like
Oh, thanks. I played when I started playing out more. Like I said, back in 2009, 2010, around the Charlotte area, I started playing a lot, and I mean, I had a lot of free time. So one of my good friends, Tom Williams, he and I got together. Tom is a phenomenal guitar player and just one of my best buddies, and we lost him a couple years ago. And
I'm sorry.
yeah, just a great guy. And so we went out and we played, and we found a specific group that really just sort of liked our music, and we just kept hitting that demographic. And so we found ourselves playing 5 and 6 nights a week.
Oh
and
my gosh.
Yeah, we were up and down the East Coast playing
That's
at
the
various
dream.
places, and yeah, it was great, and it was the two of us, and then we expanded and brought on a couple other players. We had at one point a mandolin player and a bass player, and had more of a band sound,
Yeah.
more of a full band sound. And we played out a good bit. I think the farthest north that we got with the full band, though, was probably Salisbury, I think. But it just got to be, a lot. And at that point, things were turning around in the economy, and I got offered a new job. And so, back to work.
Yep.
Yeah, so.
That really is a great way to hone your craft, is just be on constant tour, playing constantly everywhere you go.
Yeah,
And
it was
it's
a lot
clearly
of fun.
worked. It's clearly had, I'm guessing, had an effect on your playing and your performance.
I found myself much more open on stage
Right.
and much more comfortable. And yeah, I mean, Tom used to always tell me, I mean, like I said, I've never really been a great guitar player, but he used to always say, who cares? I would sit down and play with Jimi Hendrix if he was here, and it wouldn't even matter because he plays his way and I play my way. And, to that degree, I was like, oh, you know what? That's kind of true. I mean, I might be the only Ange there is, so I
Right.
should play my way.
It really is true. Like we
Yeah.
have all kinds of folks. We see all kinds of music in all kinds of venues, including here. And the people who are in the moment, who, and I hate to, this sounds so mercenary, but the people who can sell their songs
Yeah,
are the ones who are the really entertaining ones to watch.
Yeah,
They're fully
yeah.
present. They're inside that song as they convey it to us. And you really don't notice where they might have a weak point
yeah.
unless it's just so overwhelming that it's not entertaining. But I find most people, it's pretty hard not for most people to be entertaining when they come up here. It really is.
But that's been my experience going on
Yeah.
8 years. It's a great Friday every Friday.
Yep.
Almost every Friday.
And we had, just following up quickly, we had William Neesmith here last week, and
He's so
William
fun.
talked a lot about going out in public and sharing his music. And I thought William was, for a young guy, very wise that he didn't impose, his will necessarily. Every song, I'm going to force you to listen to these
Yep.
10 songs, whether you want to or not.
Yeah.
Your choice of songs, and you have a vast repertoire, obviously, is it influenced at all by the reaction from people you're playing to?
Yes. So I would say, well, at least when I was playing out more, if the crowd was really following along, and you were playing more, upbeat type stuff, and it was just that kind of night, then I tended to gravitate to that. I don't write a lot of I don't write a lot of sad songs. I try not to write too many of those. Or a lot of super slow ones. I mean, Charleston is pretty slow, and then I have a couple others that are pretty slow. But I would stay away from those if, just depend on the mood, I think, of where we were and what we were playing.
And do you throw a cover in every now and then?
Yeah, a lot.
But I think that's what William was saying, was he was happy to throw a cover in every now and then just to draw the audience in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really helpful. And it kind of, if they don't know your music, you have to sort of capture them some way. Either you're going to dazzle them with your guitar ability, you're going to, dazzle them with your voice, or, you're going to play a cover, and you hit a few licks of Journey or something, and they're right there with you. So
Well, we're right here with you, no matter
No
what,
Journey necessary.
whatever you want to play.
Okay.
We'd love to hear.
awesome. Let's see. So this is one of the slow songs I was talking about just a moment ago, a little bit slower, and also wrote this for a friend of mine. And I will say too, I've found that the older I get, the more I forget words. Even though I've written the songs, I will forget them, and it sounds.
No, I can't.
It's
I've never had that feeling.
That hasn't happened in this studio at all.
It's nuts. I was like, I wrote that song. I should know the words to the song. I always try to keep the book handy just to remind myself that that's how it goes.
No shame.
Yeah, I know.
I support this.
Awesome. It's been a long, long road for me to carry this love around. I can feel the world moving circles while my feet are on the ground. They don't understand. Can't expect me to join the crowd. Can't expect me to walk away now. I wish I could make them see what has happened to me. I wish I could make them see. My soul knows no other. My arms are heavy, and I'm holding steady. There's nothing left to uncover. Honey, let me whisper in your ear. I'll shout it far and near. I'm here when you're ready. Better to have loved and lost really don't mean anything. It's a fool that can hear it and believe it so. Know beyond color, your friend is your lover. No one would turn away, not for a single day. No one would turn away, not for a single day. Can't you hear what I say? My soul knows no other. My arms are heavy, but I'm holding steady. There's nothing left to uncover. Honey, let me whisper in your ear. I'll shout it far and near. I'm here when you're ready. A million million years, 1,000 lifetimes, it doesn't matter to me. We've been through each one together, can't you remember? Search my eyes, you'll see. My soul knows no other. My arms are heavy, I'm holding steady. There's nothing left to uncover. Honey, let me whisper in your ear. I'll shout it far and near. I'm here when you're ready. Honey, let me whisper in your ear. I'll always be near. I'm here when you're ready. Thank you.
Every song is a winner. Ange Medlin live here on Pass the Hat. Ange, we've got a playlist coming up in about 9.5 minutes or so of your music. But I'm wondering, before we get there, what it is that it inspires you, or what was it that inspired you in your formative years, and kind of what is it, if there is one, what is that kind of sound in your head that you're making come out of your voice and your guitar as you make your music? What motivates you?
Going to see someone else play.
Anybody else?
Yeah, anybody else. I have favorites that I like to go see play, obviously. But being at a live show, doesn't matter if it's a huge place or a very small, intimate venue, going to see live music and watching people perform it and live it, that makes me want to go home. I mean, a lot of times I'm sitting there in the audience and I just, let me get up there. Just let me get up there. I just want to be up there with them. So that's like the motivation. And then as far as like musically, like, the tone and the sound, I sort of lean toward more acoustic sounds and if they are electric, they're a little bit more ambient.
Right.
Yeah. And so, I kind of like a more wholesome, rounded, warm tone. So yeah, and a lot of the musicians that I listen to a lot are either what I think are exceptional songwriters, or they have that tone that I just gravitate to.
And you'd mentioned earlier in the show about back in the quiet time producing a CD, and so your music is available out there, Bandcamp or somewhere, or where?
So yeah, it was for a long time, and I actually still have CDs. Can you believe that? Like, there's still CDs.
Still a thing.
But so I'm learning to get back out there again after not having been out there for a while. My kid is telling me about Spotify and all these services. So yeah, she's threatened to go ahead and load it up. I wouldn't be surprised if it's out there.
Accept the threat. Let her do it.
Yeah.
Well, you
yeah,
said that you write all the time, so plans to do any new recording?
Yes. There's the CD that I have recorded, I believe there's 10 tracks on it, and I probably have enough to do 2 more CDs.
All right.
That are pretty much, I would say, ready to go. Getting them recorded would be the trick. So yeah, I do want to do some more.
And
Today is, by the way, Bandcamp Friday.
oh, that's right. Buy all the stuff on Bandcamp. 100% of the proceeds goes to the artist.
Yep.
Nice.
The nice thing now, and you mentioned your kid, is she?
Yes. Yeah.
She can help you navigate these waters, but it's you don't need to do a whole CD now. You can just do individual tracks, feed them out over time, and keep the cost low.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are doing it that way now.
And instead of, sounds like people might have a hard time buying your music from you right now unless they see you in person.
That's true.
Are there places coming up anytime soon where they can see you in person and maybe buy merch from you and throw lots of money in the tip jar?
I'm in the process of building that calendar out right now. Actually, have two upcoming things that I'm locking down the details on, and I'll have them on the Facebook page hopefully by the end of the weekend.
And that is at Ange Medlin Music.
Medlin, yes, Ange Medlin Music on Facebook.
Ange, A-N-G, Medlin, M-E-D-L-I-N, music. You know how to spell music. Y'all get out there, follow Ange, find out where she's playing, because, wow, you are so good.
Thank you.
Have you got a song to play us out with?
You know what? I do have one song that I can play. Yes.
I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to.
No. I usually would end with this one specific song, but it's in a different key, so I'll play this other one. I think that'll work out just fine. This is one of the newer ones, which is why I had to make sure I had it written down. Memories are fast and fading from view. I wondered what had happened to you as 1,000 images played back what we used to be. To me, I wish you could see us now. That summer we spent at the campground, lightly walking around each other, hoping no one would see. And I wanted to be there, right there for more than the night. We'd be saying our goodbyes, wipe away the proof before daylight. She gave you everything you needed, probably more than your fair share. But your heart would never leave her, and your soul was never there when you say to me, I wish I was your girl. That campfire burned like a 1,000,000-watt bulb, offering to shine right through us like a light gray robe, and expose the truth we tried so hard to hide. I tried not to be afraid. You just stood there, laughed it all away, and with nothing more than a wink, you made me lie. And I wanted to be there, right there for more than the night. We'd be saying our goodbyes, wipe away the proof before daylight. She gave you everything you needed, probably more than your fair share. But your heart would never leave her, and your soul was never there when you said to me, I wish I was your girl. Gave you everything you needed, probably more than your fair share. And your heart would never leave her, and your soul was never there when you said to me, I wish I was your girl. Wish I was your girl. Yeah, I wish I was your girl.
Y'all have been listening to Ange Medlin all the way from Greensboro, North Carolina. You will next be playing To Be Determined. So go to angemedlinmusic.com
Yes,
and or the Facebook pages.
Ange Medlin Music on Facebook.
on Facebook.
On
yeah.
Facebook. On Facebook. Any other socials?
That's the main one.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. So follow her on Facebook, friend her on Facebook,
yes.
and check out when she's going to be playing.
You
In the
want
meantime,
to hear more.
yes, we're going to ask you to wave goodbye to the camera because we are going to shut down the live stream. And gracefully into your playlist of music that you are loving and listening to right now.
Here we go, y'all.
Yes.
Bye, live stream people. We love you. You can keep listening at WHUPFM.org. Hit the live button.
And based on that playlist, did